What do you think? Think these are better than the Leviathans? And the answer is no. Hello, world. The review all you fat-footed folks have been out waiting for. It's finally arrived. So I got my Lake MX201s, and I've put in about a 42 miles into them. And something I didn't know, and I wish I would have known, is there's a cheaper version, a far like $120 some plus cheaper, and I'll post information somewhere. Is the MX169s. I mean, if I would have known about those at the time, I would have jumped on those. But if you go and look and try to get Lake MX201s or MX160, they're gone. And so what the Lake, I think they call them the Comfort Series. What they introduced is like the first legit, wide-footed cycling shoe from a major manufacturer. Folks, I think they even say it on their website. If people who like Zeros, Ultras, or whatnot, like these are the shoes for them. So, you can go to the website and read all the specific details. Bottom line up front, I would recommend, if you could get your hands on them, the MX169s, to try them out because they're at a price point that's more friendlier. I have the MX201s, and the main difference between the 169s and the 201s is, the MX169s is made out of they say a cheaper, more durable material. They're laced, not BOA, and it's a cheaper entry, lower tech version of these. So if you're trying it out, I would get the MX169s. And I may, I guess Lake is learning, like, these are in high demand because it seems like they're sold out everywhere. I had a hard time getting these. Took like weeks, literally more than weeks, months is more accurately, to get these. And I ordered a 45. I think a 46 might be the better fit. The left shoe fits great. The right's a little tight. If you watch my other fat-footed cycling shoe, I use these on these already just to get a little more length. The width is perfect, and I'll talk more about that. So the only other real viable option out there, for clipping in is the Leviathan 1.1s and 1.0. So I'll give you my first and most important thing is they are designed to have the splayed wide toe foot out the box. They do it. It works out great. It was really refreshing, exciting when I saw the on the website, and why I just jumped on these right away, irrespective of the cost, was because of that feature. And I was excited to have, or for the option of a more walkable version of these fat-footed shoes for cyclists. So from the fit, out of the box, girth, splay, really good. I think I have 45s in the Leviathans. If you recall, I started with the 1.0s and I had 46. I felt they were a little bit big. And for the Leviathans, I got the 1.1s at 45. Fits perfect for the fit. Again, these, I'm like if you have Lems and or Zeros, I do 12.5 typically. I think the 46 might be better, but I order these in 45s, and lengthwise, they're like right on, kind of perfect. So anyways, the width is great. For some reason or another, is it the same technology? And it is not. So Leviathan has FitGo is their BOA-like system. This, ratchets down great, better than Leviathan, I would say. So the fit was great. The ability to ratchet down comfortably and stay secure was great. I did 42 plus miles, did not come loose, didn't have to adjust. They clip in and out great. These are SPD style, so these are only mountain gravel type shoes. Uh, so the fit was great, snug, and the walkability, order of magnitude better than the Leviathans. And seriously, order of like these, they're cycling shoe walkable, which they're stiff, right? But much more walkable than the Leviathan. So initially I was like really excited. And so this is where it gets interesting. So 10, 20 miles into the ride, I was like, wasn't loving the Leviathans. I was thinking they would be retired at the time. Even though these are ugly shoes, pretty dorky looking to me. I mean that's to me preference. The thickness of this, I wasn't a fan, but it was like these felt great. They felt really good, very breathable, and I thought like most definitely I'm riding this for I have a big adventure ride pending in July, gravel ride of Spruce Knob. I was like, this was gonna be it, because if I have to walk or whatever, hikeability, walkability, these are gonna be the shoes. However, around mile 30 plus, I did not feel discomfort if this was my foot. What typically is this kind of like, my feet are squizzed, they can't splay. Everything felt great except for this location of the shoe. It wasn't abrasion or friction. It was just, it hurt, right? It was like, I could feel like I felt the feedback of the clip in here, and it just was an uncomfortable feeling, and I didn't quite know what it was. I mean, it wasn't painful, causing stop. It wasn't, my foot was achy. Typically with the Leviathans, I mean, I feel almost nothing. I want to say it's just like they're so comfortable biking relative to typical biking shoes. So it was like, what's going on? And it was definitely interesting. And when I finished the ride, as you saw, it's like I was happy to get the shoes off. And what I think and suspect the issue is, notice what's the difference between the two. Mm-hmm. It's the dorsiflexion. It's the artificially designed curve in the shoe. And the point where I got uncomfortable was like right here. And I think it was or is the dorsiflexion. This is one of the things I really liked about the Leviathans that also makes them less walkable, because I mean they stiff. Some flexion is no dorsiflexion, and so that does impact the walking, because the heel's not as because it's walking on boards, right? So it's like, yeah, I mountain biking, my mountain bike, I do weekday mountain bike rides. I mean, I like gravel more. In fact, I think another reason to talk about it. But walking and like light jogging, when you're 50 plus and you're trying to not die, are really, really important foundational aerobic fitness type activities. Where cycling, I like it for the, I could just cycle longer for the VO2 cardiovascular benefits. So for my weekday my mountain bike rides tend to be 2 hours or short. I just like to do them as kind of like interval, like training type activities. So these will be perfect for that. I will try them on another gravel ride. I'm debating maybe if I move the cleats further back, and see if that makes a difference. I'm gonna try that. But yeah, that's it. So MX Lake first, kudos to Lake for creating a solid offering for the fat-footed, wide shoe, natural, foot movement. Uh, the MX169, which is the laced version, slightly cheaper material, like well over $100 cheaper. Ugly color. I think it comes in red. And then the MX201s, which I have here. I will. I am super curious if the size 46 will be decisive difference. However, I or we will not know until a year or two from now, because these are pricey, uh, and they're comfortable enough with my fixes for watch that other video. I'll put the link in the comments. That I'm gonna get a solid 2 years out of these before I experiment with these. If I happen to go and see these on and I could try a 46, I may like if it's the MX169s, if I could find those. I don't know, man. I don't know. If this keeps manifesting the pain on my foot, I'm not gonna try. That's it for mountain biking. Yes, because these are just too stiff. I actually just stick to platforms mountain biking. I just don't like the walkability of these at all. And for some reason, it's not as easy to clip. I haven't figured it out. Maybe I need to get a Dremel and shave just a little bit here, but it's just so far away. I don't know why that would matter. Maybe I need to shave off some of this. I don't, it's fun to modify stuff, but not clothing and accessories and stuff. So, anyways, that is it. This is not the best traction for muddy, but for gravel or whatever. Well, I don't know. Depends on your foot. So, yeah, I will do my next ride. It's just a weekday. Just get your fitness in right. I'm gonna try these again. I expect them to be okay, 120 miles, and I'm curious about if the heat keeps happening. But as it stands, these remain the go-to for the long rides. And I'm actually I feel, when I started biking, I felt with these, I felt like, I kind of felt bad for Strong Feet Athletics and their Leviathan, because it was like, man, big industry or the established company, they got it right. They got a lot right here. But it's kind of cool for now that, these are the ones I'm gonna keep wearing for my core riding. Just because they're comfortable, all around comfortable, and I really think it is just the flat, no dorsiflexion. And it may be like, if you're someone who hasn't gone the full, and maybe I'll do like a going minimal. If for the fat footed or heavier people, like 175 plus. Naked, I'm under 240, trying to get down to that, and it's part of my old person fitness. Getting thinner is not bad for you, so we'll see how that goes. But anyways, that is the update, the review on the Lake MX201s. Again, kudos. I'm super excited to see a solid shoe manufacturer coming out with the fat-footed wide shoes, and looks like they are sold the hell out. So I don't think you're gonna be finding them. You can try. They were very hard to get, but so excited about that movement, and then still a big advocate for the Strong Feet Athletics But for you, it's like, I mean, you really don't have a choice when you start looking at these options, because regular cycling shoes are just not healthy for your feet. In fact, the more but I've been doing minimalist like well over a decade plus now. Yeah, I do find it shocking how bad shoes are. like trying to put on like it is actually, it's profoundly shocking why the shoe industry like just sells shoes that are just so bad for you. The other day I run into people who are like getting surgery on their feet, all this stuff, and it's like, I mean, it's from their footwear. And so yeah, it just blows my mind. Yeah, and while I'm on the soapbox, we were just talking. Now I don't watch a lot of sports, but with the FIFA soccer in the U.S., they have all the funny memes of Europeans being fascinated by a lot of really cool and great things about living in the USA. But another detail is like, the food and how much and the abundance we have. But there is also the angle of uh they could sell poisonous. I say the word poison. It's stuff that's just literally not good for us. You can get away and sell it to us in America. Which is like, hey, government, what are you doing? Why is that allowed? And I think in the shoe industry, like, why are you producing shoes that are just bad for people? And I get it, if people want to buy it because it's fashionable, that's fine. But I really think when you're getting in your 30s and 40s, you seriously need to look at the minimal wide foot options. I'm not sold on zero rise, absolutely. I do think 2 to 3 millimeters is sometimes good for really long like hikes and walks on pavement and concrete. I do both, but I do think a little bit of hill rise does have benefits on really hard surfaces in the modern world. But the toe width spread is like, it's a no brainer. It's a must. I guess the last, like, my reviews, sidebars and wandering is what's going to happen. But I was at a wedding, I guess this weekend. I was at a wedding this weekend, and we were in East Aurora, New York. Gorgeous town, amazing town. People in East Aurora, you have a beautiful town. But what throws me off is when I see, dudes like 25, 30 plus, and they're walking around in their tees. They got breasts, nipples, and spindly arms. And it's like, I think of, like, even their footwear. It's like, dude, what's going on with that person? Like, what kind of pain do they feel? What kind I just can't, so many young people, they're just like, yeah, they're, fitness, our lifestyles are just sitting, doing nothing. Uh, I just fear for the amount of pain and issues those people will have as they get older. And yeah, it's definitely shocking. And then the other little slight pieces, my wife and I are in our 50s, and on a weekend or whatever, it's like, I mean, we're gonna go hike or bike. You try to work out daily, and there's just not a lot of folks in. I mean, there's surely a percentage, but there really isn't a big demographic of people. Like, most of the folks my age, I mean, they're not doing a lot of active stuff. We'll leave it at that. So it definitely always, like, I find concerning. And maybe I'll do something on fitness if, folks want that, you know, make a comment or whatnot. But it's not like you watch these videos and people they're like, oh, dude, it's painful. It's it's like no, my body has its issues, and you got to put in the work and change a lot to stay active. But I'm always just thinking, like, what do people do who don't work out? Like, how do they feel? How do they wake up every day? What kind? I just can't imagine what that's like. So, anyways, out.